This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
A perfectionist. It's ridiculous. Sit up straight, Jimmy. This is Wretched Radio. Let us continue with celebrity. She thought I was a perfectionist. Why, I ought to just...
Was she wrong?
I like to think of it in more spiritual terms.
Which are?
The gift of discernment.
Yeah.
I can just tell you everything that's wrong about everything. It's a burden, I'll be honest with you, because there's so much you'd like to correct, and yet you realize, people just aren't receptive to being told.
It's really hard knowing everything.
Oh, tell me about it. How I know that to be true. Let's return to celebrity news, shall we? Gotta figure out the Disney business, is what I'm thinking. I understand why we read headlines like, Cinderella's new fairy godmother is here to teach us magic has no gender. Or, headline, Disney Plus to feature gay couple in the Proud Family reboot. And it grieves your heart, and it bums you out, and it feels almost like your childhood has been assaulted. I can't share these things with my kids now. I can't just watch Disney as that family-friendly Tinkerbell flying around the Magic Castle with the great theme music on a Saturday night. Oh, the good old day. They're gone. Boy, do I get that. But I think we maybe, just maybe, in an effort to help the world not just see us as disgruntled malcontents, I think my heart needs to get a handle on these things. Because I get that same angsty feeling that perhaps you get about this. Oh, come on, Disney. Come on. It's Disney. Now get in line. Well, the reality is they're not in line. It's not a Christian organization. It's a secular organization, and it is increasingly being run by secular people who have a secular agenda. And that is corporate America everywhere, isn't it? I mean, we have we not seen that really evidently when it comes to the issue for COVID, for instance, would be a good example. The government says, do this, and the industries, for the most part, say, you betcha. Then, however, when the government says, you don't have to do that anymore, they keep doing it. Why? Because they're determining how they want their customers to behave. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm just saying that they absolutely have an increasing secular agenda, and they're willing to flex their corporate muscle to try to impose those values on as many people as possible. That's our world. And there's a part of it that causes you to go, then you know what? I'm just going to get out of the fight. But I don't want to because it's better another way. Yep, I get that too. But maybe remembering that secular corporations are not your friend is helpful. Fox News is not your friend. Disney is not your friend. Coca-Cola is not your friend. So when you read about corporations doing these things, rather than letting it annoy us, which is different than righteous indignation, maybe, just maybe, it's helpful to recognize that we are living in a world that has indeed changed. We're Abraham now. We're foreigners in a strange land, aren't we? And I think that is, in many aspects, good. Not in all of them, because it's not good, the direction that our country is being led in, and seems to be willing to follow quite happily, unquestioningly. It can be good for us. John lists at least 10 different ways that you can know that you're a Christian. And here's one of them. Brace yourself for this. If you love the world, you have no part of God. Period. Not vague, not confusing. If you love the world, you don't love the Lord. Now, what is the world? It's the world system. It's not the stuff. It's not the planet. It's not physical objects per se. It's the systems, the philosophies, the thinking, the attitudes, even the experiences that are not godly. That's the world better stated, world system. And if you love it, then you don't love God. And I would simply ask you to spend a moment thinking about, is it possible that I'm loving the world too much? Now, there's a fine balance, isn't there? Being grateful, desiring a better country than the one that was handed down to us. I get that. I'm not dismissing any of that. But are we too attached to this world system? Is it being revealed by our consternation over the current political climate and the mores and the values and the social justice business? And maybe it's COVID for you. Is it possible that it's revealing, I didn't realize how much I dug it being easy. I didn't realize how sweet it was that we have these freedoms to do these things, because now that they seem to be getting strangled to a degree, it's like, hey, I don't like this. And I don't think we have to like it. But that's a different side of the aisle than loving it and needing it. There was, okay, we're watching a show. I don't even know the name of it. It's yet another BBC period piece. Okay, it's better than Hallmark. Not much, but it's better than Hallmark. And we're watching this thing, and the guy has known this young lady, has seen her grow up, and he loves her. And he proposes to her. I can't think of the name of it was made in 2001. Little grainy. Nevertheless, he was saying to the young lady, I love you. You're the only one who can make me happy. If I don't have your love, I can't live. I must have you as my wife because I adore you so much. And I went, well, there's idolatry. It's one thing to go, yeah, I dig that Goyle. I'd like to be married to that woman. Versus, I've got to be married to that woman. That's the line I'm talking about here. You can read a Disney story and go, I get that. But what we can't do is feel somehow like we've been personally slighted, or that things are in danger, or that things are never going to be good again. I think that's the line. And that fellow who was proposing, I think, revealed it amorously. He needed it. I don't need Disney. It's nice that people who are really good at what they do make stuff that amuses the kids. It's nice. Taking the kids to a movie with the popcorn, that can be fun, like Pixar. All right, there's another one, Pixar. They're apparently they've got some gay characters now too. Okay, yeah, all right. Bummer. But if you're really super angsty, you're super feeling like this is not good anymore. Examine your heart and just see what's going on in there, and don't waste the crumbling of a nation. Forget about don't waste your cancer. Don't waste the crumbling of a nation. That's what we appear to be living in right now. Without being a doomsayer, I don't know how a nation can stand. Historically, they can't. And by the way, that's another message from a crumbling culture. We can't pull this off. We need God. I just heard somebody say, sleep is a reminder that you're going to die. Every time you go to bed, it should be a reminder, I'm going to die one day. And sleep is just a little precursor to that, in that you sleep. Now you wake up. You're not promised it, but you wake up. It's a temporary sleep. One day, nighty-night, Nurse Nickel, it's going to be a permanent affair. And sleep should remind you of that. And then when we see a nation crumble, I think it should remind us, well, human beings can't pull off nation running, at least not for forever. And I think back to Daniel and his vision, the big statue made with different elements. And what caused the whole thing to crumble in the strongest part of the empire, Rome, in this instance? The stone, Jesus Christ, crumbles. And one day, he's going to have a nation. It's called his kingdom. And it's populated by his people. And the ruler is himself. And everything he does is benevolent and right. And his citizens will rejoice forever. And nothing is going to ever change that. In fact, the only aspect, if you will, of eternity changing is that it's just going to keep getting better and better and better and better and richer and deeper and more profound with every single observation and understanding about God. That is what this crumbling should remind us of. This is not my home. And I know we got to work some things out with, we want to save this. We don't want that to happen. I get all of that. We're talking about the heart. And maybe one of the things that will help me as we see the country just go kafritz, God's going to do better. And it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait for that day. This is Wretched Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. For all of you Arminian passengers, you might think you have free will, but not on this flight. So let's put those seats in their upright and locked positions. And for all of my Calvinist passengers who believe in the sovereignty of God, he may ordain that you're going to crash today, but if you do, you're going to do it with your seatbelts on. So let's just buckle up.